Welcome to another edition of the Office of Special Counsel's video series on prohibited personnel practices. Please be sure to visit our website at www.osc.gov to view the full series of videos. In this video, we'll discuss hiring violations. At the core of the federal hiring process is the basic principle that entry into the federal civil service should be based on merit after fair and open competition. To ensure that federal employees are hired based on their competence through a fair and transparent process, federal agencies must strive to avoid engaging in prohibited hiring practices. There are 6 types of prohibited hiring practices: considering improper political job references, obstructing the right to compete, influencing withdrawal from competition, granting an unauthorized preference or advantage, nepotism, and knowingly violating veterans' preference. For the purpose of this video, we'll highlight only the most common violations alleged to our office. First, we'll talk about obstruction of the right to compete. Agency officials are prohibited from willfully obstructing a person's right to compete for federal employment. The law requires deliberate deception or obstruction. In other words, inadvertent mistakes are not violations.
Managers advertised for investigator positions and wanted to hire attorneys with prior federal experience, even though the job did not require applicants to be attorneys to be qualified. The managers developed applicant scorecards to evaluate candidates that only assigned points to applicants who had attorney experience, so that a non-attorney applicant without federal service could not score high enough to be considered. Management's decision to require attorney and prior federal experience for the investigator positions, even though neither qualification was stated in the job announcement, willfully obstructed the right of applicants without that experience from competing for the positions.
Next, we'll explain influencing a person to withdraw from competition for a position. Agency officials are prohibited from persuading or influencing any person to withdraw from competition for the purpose or intent of helping or hurting any person's employment prospects. Attempting to influence or persuade is sufficient even if the applicant doesn't withdraw. Officials may advise an applicant that a job might not be the best fit if the counseling is an honest assessment and not intended to hurt the applicant's employment prospects or improve another applicant's prospects.
A manager wanted to select a non-veteran candidate over a qualified, preference-eligible veteran candidate for a vacant position. To try to push the veteran candidate to withdraw her application, the manager invited the veteran candidate to meet at a restaurant to discuss the position. The manager told the candidate that he had serious concerns about her ability to perform the job, and that the candidate should consider withdrawing her application. Yes, the manager violated the law by trying to convince the applicant to withdraw from consideration from the position to benefit the non-veteran candidate.
Lastly, we'll discuss granting an unauthorized preference. Agency officials are prohibited from granting an illegal or unauthorized preference or advantage, or purposefully manipulating the hiring process to ensure that one person is favored or another person is disadvantaged. Pre-selection by itself does not violate this section, and an unauthorized preference is more than favoritism.
Agency Human Resources staff compiled a referral list that included a candidate who did not meet the time and grade requirement for a GS-15 position. The selecting official delayed the selection process and, against the advice of Human Resources, implemented a plan in which the candidate rotated into the GS-15 position for a period of time until she met the time and grade requirement. When the candidate eventually met time and grade, the official selected her for the position. The manager, delaying the hiring process to allow the preferred candidate to achieve the necessary time and grade for the position, was an unauthorized preference.
For more information about the prohibited personnel practices that cover improper hiring practices, please access the other resources on our website.
you.